The second child hadn't even tried. She just started to cry. That's the part that struck me most. Two kids, one blocked entrance, one tries, the other doesn't. But the moment one finds a way, the other follows. It made me wonder, how many times do we give up without even trying, just because something looks hard? Hi, men and babes, boys and girls, gentlemen, gentlewomen. Actually, I don't know if women are gentle, but then, yeah, I think we are very gentle, right? Yeah, we are cool, calm, collected, and gentle. So, hi, hello there. How have you been? Whew. I hope the month of June has been wonderful to you. I know most of us have not done this, including myself. As at the time of recording this episode, I haven't worked on my, checking my goals for the year, the ones I've been able to do, the ones I've not been able to do. But of course, before the end of the month, I have to do that. It's actually important because, it will help us to know how far we've come and things that we still have to do. It's been a lot, right? But yeah, we are standing, we are going, we are learning, we are healing, and we are growing, of course. So that's the most important part. So as much as I'm encouraging you to, dot your I's and cross your T's about your goals for 2025, I'm actually telling myself to do the same. Yes, I'm telling myself to do the same because that's going to help us a lot. It's going to go a long way in knowing what we have to do better, what we have to leave behind, and all of that. So, and I'm rooting for you, honestly. And you're welcome to another episode. You're welcome to this moment of truth, reflection, and honest conversation. If you are here for the first time or you are my dear returning listener, welcome or welcome back. I'm so happy, glad, and excited to have you. I'm so glad you are here, honestly, because today's reflection is short, but it's real. I would have loved to go into, setting goals, but look at me, I've not even done mine. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. Next time. This particular episode actually started with just one simple thought. And the thought is, what if the barrier is not as strong as we think? I want to share something with you. Very simple but powerful. I came across this video recently. It was a short video, right? Two little kids were walking towards a blocked entrance. One was at the forefront and a barrier was placed there. So the first child walked up to it, paused when she realized that there was a barrier. And immediately the second child also realized that there was a barrier. She started crying. And, the other one just calmed down. She looked around, she touched. Then she looked, okay, where can I go through this? How can I pass through this? How can I find my way around? And honestly, she looked around and she found the way through. The second child, without even trying, was crying. And immediately she saw that her sister was trying to find the way. She was just looking. She just stood behind her. She was okay. But then something beautiful actually happened. When the first child found a way through the barrier, and once she passed through, the second child stopped and she followed and she smiled. In fact, her laughter was bigger than her sister's. And that moment stuck with me. It made me think about how we all respond to obstacles in different ways. Some of us get overwhelmed, we shut down, we break down, we tear down the moment we see resistance. Others get curious, look around, try something different, and realize that the barrier isn't the end, it's just a challenge waiting to be solved. The truth is, life will always presents barriers. Some days ago, I was just thinking, why can't life be black and white? Honestly, like very simple, clear. This is white, this is black. Why must it be gray? Why must it be so confusing? And I realized that maybe life is not meant to be so perfect. Maybe it's just meant to be real. And being real is you having a problem and solving it. Because what matters most is how we respond and not the barriers. So, do we give up or do we lean in and try again when we face issue, when we face problem, when we face barriers? What are we supposed to do? And this video also reminded me of a moment I had at work recently. So the day before, I had a very stretchy, long, and exhausting day. So when I got to work the next day, I was drained, honestly. I was not even functioning well mentally. I was so exhausted. While taking care of my boss's office, I was supposed to turn on the solar fan. Easy peasy, right? But I honestly didn't have the strength, the mental strength actually, to follow through with the full instructions. So I just left it. I didn't even bother. I tried one or two, I just left. Later on, one of the senior employees asked, why didn't I push further? And the moment he said that, I knew I hadn't tried. I knew I was just too tired. But I felt more calm and rested at the moment. So why not? So I went back and tried again. And trust me, this time around, I did not even stress. I got it right away. It was so simple. I just hadn't pushed through earlier. That moment taught me something. Sometimes we already have the capacity, we already have the ability, we already have the strength, we already have what it takes. We are just letting our feelings speak louder than our ability. And it's just fear. It's fear, it's confusion, it's us not being certain, it's all just being so tired. But then we have what it takes. And one thing is, once we realize that yes, I have what it is, this is a problem. I think one thing that is very hard for us humans to actually do is acceptance. I battle with it as well. Like, it's so hard to just accept that this thing has happened. There's this thing. I just need to figure this out. This problem is there already. Like, I'm seeing it already. I have to look for a way. I have to go through it. I have to find a solution. And it can be so hard, honestly. But then, before we can grow, before we can build connections, before we can build something real, before we can build something strong, we have to accept. We have to accept that there's a problem. You have to accept that there's a problem. It's just like you are wounded, you have an injury. Let's even say you cut yourself. Like a few days ago, I was just trying to peel potato and then I cut myself. At that moment, I had to firstly ask him that, girl, this thing is deep, you've cut yourself, and there was blood. And I was moved and I said, okay, what am I going to apply? What am I going to do? How do I get better? How do I make sure that it heals up quickly? And so that is one thing that we always run away from, especially when it comes to barriers that we are not even seeing physically. At least these children were able to see the barrier physically and look for a way around. But what about times when we don't even see it physically? What about times when it's just our brain that is just blocked? We don't even want to try. We're just so tired. We're just so confused. There's so much doubt in our system. What do we do? How do we go about it? Acceptance is very easy to say. You just need to accept. But when it comes to reality, it's actually not easy. And one of the ways to actually accept is you shift your mindset. You allow it to sink deep into you. When I cut myself, before cutting myself, there was no pain. I was okay, I was fine. But immediately I cut myself, there was pain. I could feel it. I had to tell myself, girl, you are in pain, something has happened to you, something has changed. So this is not the normal you, something has altered the normal you. So I feel like before we can actually, really get to that point of really accepting what is wrong, we need to continuously say it, let our mind register it, because if it's physical pain, our body will actually know it, so it's very easy. But when it comes to we trying to get something done, barriers, doubts, a lot of things are happening around us. The first thing we have to tell ourselves is, okay, there is a problem. I'm trying to get this solved. Like that day, I was just so tired. I could not even try. I just left it. But when I was going back, I was like, you figure this thing out. And it was so funny because the first thing I did, like I just followed the instruction once and for all, and I got it. So I realized that most times you just need to let it register that there is a problem and it needs to be solved, because there is a problem. You can decide to run away. Like the second child rather, she was crying because she was like, what is this? And she started crying. The mom even shouted out, stop crying. She started crying. And when the first child actually passed through, she smiled, she laughed. Her laughter was bigger than her sister's. And it just dawned on me that we just need to register first that there is a problem. That registration, that acceptance will lead us to, knowing that, okay, how do we solve this? How do I go about this? What can I do to get out of here? So a lot of times, the real barrier isn't what is in front of us. Most times, it's what is inside. It's our mindset. It's what we feed our minds on. It's what we feed our hearts on. It's what we've been, fashioned to think about. It's the fear of trying. It's the assumption that it's just so hard. Just imagine that the first sister that saw the barrier also started crying. The two of them would have cried together and probably go back and not even try. It was the first sister scared as well. I'm very certain she was scared. I'm very certain she was afraid. I'm very certain she had a lot of assumptions in her head that, oh God, why would they even do this? We can't even pass through this so hard. How do we go about this? How do we leave this certain place? How do we move forward? How do we forge ahead? And most times we think like that too. Sometimes it is the exhaustion. We are just too tired. We are just too drained. And that convinces us that we don't have to bother. It's not meant for us. We don't have to try. Let's just leave it as it is. But growth happens. Growth happens when we move past that first wave of emotion. Growth happens when we move past that doubt, when we move past that fear, when we move past that assumption, when we move past that assertion. Growth happens there. Sometimes all it takes is one more step. One more step. So what if when the first sister was trying to get the solution, what if she got to a point and she was like, you know what, I'm no longer trying. And probably that's just the last step that she needs to get it right. So sometimes it's just one more step that we need. One more look. And one more attempt. One more try. And suddenly the solution is clear. What looks so confusing, what looks like gray, is just as white and black as we want it to be. So here is my encouragement to you, that when you come face to face with a barrier, please don't stop there. That's not who you've been called to be. You've been called to stand on your feet, to stand strong. You've been called to not look back. You've been called to not give up. I'm not saying this to sound like a motivational speaker, honestly. I'm saying this because that is life. I mean, the beauty of life is the fact that it's not even white and black. Just imagine that life is white and black. I thought about it that why is life not white and black? But now I realize that life can't be white and black. It has to be gray. That is the beauty. It has to be mixed together. It has to come in different shapes, different varieties. It just can't be white and black. Because if it is white and black, girl, it's going to be so boring. Life is not going to be the same if it's just white and black. But being gray, that's the beauty. It's so colorful. So you've never been called to just give up. You've been called to thrive. You've been called to thrive. You've been called to forge ahead, even with the problems, even with the doubts, even with the fears, even with the challenges. You've been called to be a solver, a solution. You've been called to be one who finds a way for others. I can't just get that first sister reaction out of my head. She did something, she made a way for the second sister. So just imagine the number of people that are behind you, the number of people that are looking at you and they are crying when they realize that there is a problem. Imagine, do you want them to go back? Do you want them to keep crying? Do you want them to be stuck? What about you? Do you not even care about yourself? Don't you want to forge ahead? It's so amazing when we go through things that we thought that we can never go through. Those moments reminds us that indeed we are stronger than we think. So when you come face to face again with a barrier, don't stop there. Get curious. Yes. Want to know, get inquisitive. Try again. Because the truth is, it might be easier than it seems. So to your future self, please don't stop at the barrier. Take one more step, take one more action, and it might just open the door. And until I see you again, please stay strong, stay curious, keep rising, keep thriving. I love you, and bye. And I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. And if this resonated with you, please share with somebody that needs to hear this. I love you. Bye once again.